everyone, this is Angela from the website naturallivingalchemy.ca. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you a garlic and sage infused olive oil recipe that you could add to last week's holy basil infused vinegar recipe to make a delicious salad dressing, or you could simply choose to toss your favorite pasta in this tasty oil, or maybe even roast some vegetables. Olive oil is rich in healthy monounsaturated fats. It contains antioxidants, reducing your risk of chronic disease. It contains 13% of your daily recommended value of vitamin E and 9% of your daily recommended value of vitamin K. It has anti-inflammatory properties and it can help protect the heart from disease. And it's also considered to be highly protective against type 2 diabetes. So to our olive oil, we are going to be adding some garlic or Allium sativum. So the taste of garlic, pungent. Okay. I don't know what other word that you could describe to use garlic, but pungent is it. So the primary actions of concern and the bodily affinities that garlic has as to why she's going in this recipe, keeping in mind it is not all of the health benefits of garlic, just a few. But garlic works as an immune stimulant and it is helpful for keeping colds and flus at bay. It also works as a circulatory stimulant, improving circulation throughout the entire body, and it can help with hypertension. It has been shown to be beneficial in lowering cholesterol concentrations by up to 10%, favorably altering good and bad cholesterol ratios. It works as a carminative, helping to dispel excess wind and gas from the body and aiding in the entire digestive process. It helps increase your digestive fire, or in Ayurveda, we call that your Agni. Okay? It also works as an expectorant, helping to expel mucus from your body. And lastly, garlic works as an inflammation modulator, just helping to reduce any inflammation that you may be experiencing in any part of your body. Energetically, garlic is hot, it's dry, and it's stimulating. Now, you would not want to use garlic in this infusion if you have stomach inflammation, gastritis, or ulcers. And I would also advise you to use caution if you are a nursing mother, as you may actually pass on gastric upset to the nursing child by using this olive oil. Okay. And lastly, garlic does thin the blood. So you're going to want to make sure that any medications that you're on, that you speak to your healthcare practitioner to discuss any possible interactions. With that in mind, anything on this channel, it's not medical advice. It is here for education and entertainment purposes only. And you really do need to talk to your healthcare practitioners before following anything that I say. Now, the ruling planet of garlic is Mars, and the ruling element is the air. Now, our last ingredient that I want to talk about is sage, or Salvia officinalis. Now, the taste of sage is bitter and it's astringent. And what that's signaling to our body is that bitter flavor is helping to support your digestion. All right. It can even help support and relieve indigestion and bloating due to some carminative effects. It can help assist and support the entire digestive function by improving the assimilation of fatty foods. All right. It works as an astringent, just helping to just tighten and tone and pucker up the tissues within your entire body. It also, though, works as a nootropic, helping to improve clear thinking, memory, concentration, as well as other cognitive functions. So as you can see, sage is definitely one of those allies that is going to support those parts of our system that we might not necessarily think of when we just grab something like a kitchen spice. Energetically, sage is warming, it's drying, and it's tonifying. It's tonifying because of those astringent properties. Now, there are a couple contraindications I do want to mention about sage and when it might not be safe for you to use. So, according to the FDA, it is approved for food use as a spice or a seasoning. However, there are certain species of sage that contain a constituent called thujone. And that can actually cause seizures if taken in high or long-term doses. Now, a simple sprinkling over some of your food might not give you that, but it is just something for you to consider. So, you would want to avoid medicinal doses of sage if you are an epileptic. Okay, so just maybe avoid putting it in it altogether if epilepsy is something that you do experience sometimes. And lastly, I do want you to avoid if you're nursing it. Okay, because sage has the ability to lessen or completely dry up your breast milk. And that's not something that you're going to want if somebody is relying on you for that, right? So, lastly, sage is ruling planets Jupiter, and its ruling element is the air. All right, so to make this herbal infused olive oil today, we're going to have two different steps to it. Okay, so our first one is going to be infusing our olive oil with some garlic, and we are going to do that. I have a pot on the stove that is already boiling, and I'm just going to be using our little double boiler. After we have infused the garlic in the oil, then we're going to do a slower infusion with the sage. Okay, so to start this, you're going to want to put some garlic cloves inside of your double boiler. So I have 5 here that I'm just going to peel and just kind of lightly crush. We are wanting to kind of just open it up and get some of those juices released so they can infuse themselves in our oil. Okay. So now that we have our crushed cloves of garlic in our melting pot, we are just going to add some oil to it. In theory, I probably should have just measured the oil first before pouring it in, but we didn't, and that gets to be okay. So you're just wanting to put a nice amount of olive oil in here. We're going to go over to the stove, put it on the double boiler. Now we're going to allow this to slowly infuse for 20 to 30 minutes. And then I will show you what we do after that. Okay, so now that we are at the stove, I have my olive oil that is infusing with my garlic. I have it in my double boiler, and I'm just going to let this gently simmer together for 20 to 30 minutes. And that's just going to be enough time to really allow the oil to get all of those beneficial and medicinal properties from that garlic. All right, so now that our olive oil is nicely infused with our garlic, it was simmering for about 25 minutes. Okay, so now what we're going to do is you need to take one sanitized jar. So I did this in the oven. I had it in the oven for 20 minutes at 220 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so now all we're going to do is I just like to use this funnel. Now, just a little side note about these funnels, they're really sharp on the bottom. Be careful. I cut my finger pretty bad. Just be careful if you notice that when you're cleaning yours, don't rub your finger along the bottom of that because it hurts. So anyway, we're going to take a small mesh strainer like this, and then I'm just going to pour my oil just right into my jar. And yeah, I did not measure my oil first, so I ended up using about a cup and a half. Okay. So to this, which, oh, it smells really good. we're going to add our dried sage. So I'm going to be putting in 3 tablespoons. And then you're going to allow these to infuse together for 2 to 4 weeks and just shake it every day. All right, and that's it. So we're just going to put our oil in. We're going to just make sure that it is all nicely mixed up with our sage. Okay, so once everything is just nicely incorporated, we're going to take our lid that we've also sanitized. We're going to write down what it is and we're going to put the date. Like I said, we're just going to shake it every day. And then once for 2 to 4 weeks have passed, we're happy with the infusion. Feel free to just taste it at that time. And if you find you'd like it to be a little bit stronger, leave a little bit longer. If you're happy with the flavor, she's good to go. All right. So then you're just going to want to take something similar to this again. And I like to put some cheesecloth in it. And that is going to just help strain out your sage leaves. You're going to store this oil in the refrigerator and you're going to use it within 6 months. The dosage for this type of oil is just going to be how you would normally use an olive oil, right? Just use it in that type of serving. So for myself, I'm planning on putting this on some salad. So I'll probably grab like 2 tablespoons of vinegar, tablespoon of oil, put her in, stir it up, good to go. All right. So why don't you comment down below and let me know, how are you going to use your infused oil? Are you also going to add any other plant materials to it? Let me know, okay? So don't forget to hit that like button if you've enjoyed this video and maybe share it with anyone else who you feel would enjoy it. Consider subscribing to the channel so that you don't miss future videos and different things that I have planned on bringing you. You can find me over on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook, so be sure to connect with me over there as well. If you've made it to the end of this video, I really just want to say thank you, and may you find peace wherever you are.